everybody, welcome to a very special live edition of Butterbeer Banter. I am Joe, one of your hosts, the Dean of Tales from Godric's Hollow, and I am joined by my other co-hosts. First up, bringing in here, Lauren.
Howdy, y'all.
Welcome, Lauren. Welcome to this very special live edition.
Yes, welcome to you as well. How have you been?
Oh, I'm just dealing with bad technology over here.
Well, I think that you look very nice tonight, Joe.
Thank you. I got my Tales from Godric's Hollow shirt on, which you can get at our shop, talesfromgodricshollow.com. Oh yeah, that's a little plug. Also with us tonight, we got the one and only Atari Alex.
I'm here. I'm pretty sure this is my first Butterbeer Banter episode, so I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
Well, truth be told, I don't think we've done a Butterbeer Banter in a very long time. So
This is
It's been a while.
this is why I kind of wanted to do a bunch of things all at once here, because I wanted to preview the tournament, which we got going, which is starting tomorrow, our inaugural Tales from Godric's Hollow Magical March Madness tournament. Alex, get it right.
Marchical for short. I got you.
For the year 2023. And I wanted to preview all the matchups because a lot of you, the community, don't know what the matchups are. So I wanted to talk about the matchups up here right now. And as I said before, we haven't really done a Butterbeer Banter in a very long time. So I was just like, let's just do it all together in one big thing. Like, let's go.
It's madness in March.
Good one, Lauren. Good one. It's also a great way to connect with you all. Feel free to comment. We can see your comments. We get those. So feel free to chat with us as we're going through here. But before we get into any of the matchups, I just want to talk about how this all came about, because when the idea came to us, I think all three of us were super excited to come up with and create this tournament and make it a fun thing and how to go about it. And I want to pitch it to Lauren because the initial idea came from her. So Lauren, I'm going to give you the floor to just share how this idea came to you. I mean, obviously inspired by the NCAA March Madness tournament, but I'll let you talk.
Thanks. Yeah, so I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and other than Harry Potter, I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. So around this time of the year, especially the college podcasts, college football mostly, but college podcasts that I listen to, it's all about brackets and doing random brackets. And you can see on social media people doing brackets of like movies and other things. And I thought, well, we really like doing these top fives, but what if we actually had to come to a consensus about something? What if we had to talk about two
That
characters?
can't happen. There's no way we can all come to a consensus on this show.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm very interested to see how it's going to go tomorrow when we actually jump in and do this. But yeah, so that's where it came from, was just I do listen to other podcasts that do this kind of thing, but I've never seen anyone do it with Potter. So why not us be the first to do it?
And that's the interesting thing too. I haven't seen something like this done with any other Harry Potter medium.
Yeah, I have
where it's a giant bracket and you just go through. And my addition to this, because here's how I work. Once I get an idea, whether it's mine or someone else's, thank you, Lauren, like the wheels start turning, and then just like everything just goes crazy in my mind. Oh, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. How do we do this? And all these things are jumbling in my head to just try to make this the best possible thing that we can make it, because it's not like we got the most amount of money coming in that we could spend on all these different things. And You know, we're a small Harry Potter podcast. We got our little corner of the Harry Potter fandom that's just sitting nicely right there. We're trying to grow, of course. So, you know, thank you, community. Share this video right now if you'd like. But one of my things about thinking of this NCAA tournament style bracket, the storylines of the tournament are generally the underdog. Which underdog team is going to go on a run and go far. And I figured with this type of tournament, how the heck are we going to get some of the underdogs in play without it, you know, being completely unfair? Because, you know, let's be real. If it's just a straight up dueling match, I think I said this on one of the shows, we know it's going to be like Dumbledore and probably Grindelwald at the very end, unless they face each other very early on. And that's no fun. Like, we want to have a little bit more, we want to throw some curveballs in there. Like, that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes the NCAA tournament so interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do with this tournament as well. So I was just going through ideas in my head of like, okay, how can I get some of the underdogs to move on? And then I don't know how this came into my brain, but I thought about this roulette wheel. And I don't own a roulette wheel. Like, it's not something I generally think about, but I was just like, what if we had different styles of matchups for each of these matchups? That way there is potential to get a good stipulation for a specific matchup or for a specific person to do well in a matchup that could end up pushing them on and moving them forward over somebody who would generally just beat them straight up in a duel.
Right.
It's just like, okay, we got to have different topics, but how do we choose these topics? I don't want to just, you know, I got the phone randomizer list thing on that I use to choose, you know, giveaway winners and other things. So it's just like, I don't really want to do that. That's less fun. So I thought of the roulette wheel. And the second I thought of the roulette wheel, I just knew we were going for it. Like,
Yeah.
definitely have to get the roulette wheel. And that is what I have right next to me here. We have this roulette wheel. There's 12 spaces on this wheel. And as we went over in our last episode, we have the many different types of stipulation matchups that we can have. I'll read it from here. Dueling, of course, being every other. It's taking up half the wheel. But in the midst of all that, we have academics, ability to love, magical creatures, logic, agent of chaos, and Quidditch. So how we're going to choose the stipulations of each of these matchups, we're going to have the little wheel here. I'm going to give it a spin. As such,
It just
we're
sounds
gonna
so good.
the anticipation. And this one lands on dueling. So that's how the matchup will end up playing out, with who would win in a duel. And we're going to go through each there. So again, each specific person has to kind of get lucky to kind of get their niche of type of matchup in order to move on. But that's kind of how it is in the tournament too. You know, you get the right matchup for the underdog, and they just happen to play well that one time, and then that's how momentum starts swinging their way. So that's what we were trying to create with this tournament. And again, I wanted to preview each of the matchups, and that's what we're going to do coming up next here on this Butterbeer Banter live edition. So are we ready to go through these?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Have y'all both filled out your preview bracket?
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did too, but it was like the day after Joe posted it, so I honestly don't remember who I picked for like anything. So
Now,
I
the
could
hard thing
be
is,
I could be screwing myself out of some wins tomorrow just because I don't remember who I picked to go on.
I'm trying to stay unbiased while
Yeah.
going through this. Like, I don't want to just completely go with who I picked in this tournament.
Right.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
mean, that's
I
kind of the point of the roulette wheel is you pick the matchups before knowing what category they're going to be fighting in. So that does give it a little bit of unpredictability.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so when I filled out mine cuz I didn't like what ended up being the who ended up being the winner the first time, I went back and did it again and I used an online roulette wheel. And I was like, I want it to be more random. Let's go. So, mine's probably not going to win even close, but it was fun to do it with a roulette wheel.
You know when the matchups got really once we got to second and third round, those matchups got tough.
There were
I
some that I was like back and forth between. Yeah.
I do not envy us going into next week because if we think tomorrow's going to be difficult, the following week is going to be even more so difficult.
Yeah. Some of tomorrow's are going to be just like, okay, yeah, push them on. Let's go. Move on.
Yeah, but as you'll see, there are some interesting matchups that are happening too tomorrow.
There
Uh-huh.
are.
And it was fun to get the different types of characters too. So we had like a student section, then we had some from Fantastic Beasts, we had
Hmm.
some of the Death Eaters and the bad guys, and then we had some from the Order of the Phoenix and the Teachers and the Ministry of Magic. So the jumbling of those characters, and I must say, the students did not end up with good matchups. Like a lot of these students,
No, they
uh,
really didn't.
I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it's just like that's how it goes. Hello, Rowan. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, right on back to you. Appreciate you tuning in. So yeah, so let's get into the bracket. We'll get into these round one matchups. We're gonna go through all 32 here, and we'll see how this kind of works out here. First matchup on the list here is Mad Eye Moody versus Percival Graves.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I see both these two kind of on a similar level.
Yeah. Well, we meet both of them and they're not actually them.
Right. Yeah,
Well, that
that's
too. That's
very ironic that they got matched up together.
there's a lot of irony in this tournament, and we didn't purposely do it. But yeah, I don't know who would win in a duel, to be honest. Like that's something we would have to discuss if that were the case when we spin our wheel. But these two are both very skilled aurors
Hmm.
who have done their job for a very long period of time. And I was just like, man, that's a tough matchup right from the get go. Holy
Yeah.
smokes. So, yeah. Any other quick notes on those two?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see if they roll for Quidditch because a Quidditch match between those two, I just I can visually see it in my head. It's really funny.
You know, we know Moody's eye is magical. Can his eye turn into a snitch? Is that how he practices?
Maybe.
I feel like that would hinder his depth perception a little bit too much, but maybe. No, I think that one's gonna be tough because we do get to meet the real Moody, and we don't spend as much time with him as Foodie, but like at least we have some frame of reference for the real him. But Percival Graves is it's only the fake version of him, so that one's gonna be weird, but it'll be fun.
For sure, for sure. All right, our second matchup here is Horace Slughorn versus Aberforth Dumbledore. It's another matchup of two of the older gentlemen in the wizarding world. We know the relationship between Horace and Albus, but not so much Horace and Aberforth. Like that is a little bit of an interesting matchup. And again, it's going to be coming down to what exactly gets spun on this wheel here sitting next to me. I would say
Yeah,
that they're pretty much about even though.
Oh, really? I was gonna say, I think that Slughorn, or sorry, I think Aberforth runs away with this in everything except for potion making and academics.
Uh, I mean, I think logic he would
Okay,
have him
yeah, I
be.
forgot that one. Yeah.
Um,
So basically,
I,
all
I
the
think
smarty stuff is Slughorn, and everything else is Aberforth.
yeah,
I don't know. Just how is Aberforth's ability to love? Like, like
pretty
that's
high. I think
Yeah,
Aberforth is pretty high. He loved his family
well,
definitely.
he loved
significantly.
Ariana. I don't know how much he loved Albus.
Oh, I think he loved Albus. He just didn't agree with what Albus was
Yeah,
doing.
that's what made it hurt so much when
Yeah, that's
that
why he punched
happened.
him.
Yeah.
Love hurts sometimes. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
And he showed Albus. That's for sure.
Yeah, I could see duels going either way. So I think they could go one way or the other depending on the location and setup.
Mm.
Yeah, Horace Slughorn. We don't really see much of his like dueling ability, but we see him at the very least hold his own in the Battle of Hogwarts.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that, but I don't know. We could talk about it more tomorrow. He strikes me as kind of a coward. Um, I think he embodies a lot of the Slytherin traits of look out for yourself. And in a duel, I don't think that's necessarily where you want to be. But maybe it won't be a duel. Maybe it'll be something else. I don't know.
Just wait until Aberforth sends his Patronus goat after him.
This is another interesting Quidditch match though. If it rolls on Quidditch.
I mean, I think you could say that for anyone that we don't see play Quidditch.
Well, there's some people that it's like, oh, okay, I could see them playing Quidditch, but Aberforth and especially Slughorn, I just can't see him.
Oh no, Slughorn 100% loses a Quidditch match between anybody.
I can't even see Slughorn getting on a broom to play Quidditch. Like
Yeah, he's gonna be like, that's too much.
he's got one of those like moody brooms that you could like sit in, but it's more of like a recliner and it's just placed on top of the broom and it just flies. Let us hope that we don't get Quidditch for that one. Um, let's move on here. Match number 3, Corbin Yaxley versus Helmut. Helmut, of course, being one of the stooges of Grindelwald in the latest Fantastic Beasts movie, and then Yaxley, one of Voldemort's stooges, who ends
Yeah,
up
I'm gonna be
running the magical law enforcement, if I'm not mistaken, in book 7.
right. Hmm.
Uh,
I'm gonna be honest. I had to look up who Helmut was. Like, I did
Helmut.
not remember who that
I
was. I
didn't
was like,
even.
I don't think he has any lines. I think he's just there. Like he's
I
in a
didn't.
fairly prominent role because he's like in charge of like at the very end when they're doing that little chase scene through the town, like he's in charge of like Grindelwald's forces there that are like
yeah,
telling all the acolytes where to go and
Uh,
like down which alley. But I don't think he speaks a word.
yeah. I definitely had to look him up to see who he was. Um, because I didn't know who to pick because I was like, I don't know who this is. Okay.
I
But
didn't even bother looking him up. I just picked Yaxley.
Don't know you, Yaxley. All right, moving on here. Match 4, Dolores Umbridge versus Cornelius Fudge.
I love
What
this
are the
matchup.
odds of this matchup?
I love it so much.
How? How did this happen?
I
Who knows?
think it's wonderful.
Oh man, would Dolores take the fall because it's Fudge?
If
We'll
she
have
doesn't
to.
know what's in it for her, probably not.
Right, right.
Yeah.
If you take all the extra stuff out of it and you just put them in based on like what their own aspirations and their own abilities are, I would probably give the edge to Umbridge.
I just hope that we don't roll ability to love on this one.
I think that would be a very simple matchup because I refuse to believe that Umbridge can love anything except for her cats.
That's a lot of love. I mean, you guys always talk about how much you love your animals and such.
Hey, 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 do not lump me in with these dog people.
Well, hang on now. You're on my side with that, Alex?
Yeah, of course.
Oh man.
Wow. I think I see you in a different light now. Awesome. So yeah, it's fun to have these two together, just specifically because of their relationship in book 5. And I can't imagine them going head to head with each other, but if they had to, we don't really see Fudge at all as far as
Do
his
anything?
magical ability is
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a tough one if it's a dueling one. I think it would be more fun if it's one of those weird ones. But we'll see how that ends up playing out tomorrow. Match 5 here, Cho Chang versus Arthur Weasley.
Poor Cho.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those instances where student with a bad matchup. And not that Arthur is the most proficient person in magic, but like we know he's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely underrated.
Correct.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, I
think
think
we
Cho's only chance is Quidditch.
Quidditch, yeah.
And that's it. I'm not sure I would give her any of the others.
I don't think so.
I don't know, maybe the
Yeah.
academics or the logic one.
I don't think
Arthur's
so.
smart, man.
Yeah.
He can build. He was
He's
able
not a
to create.
Ravenclaw.
He was able to create a flying car, and he was able to fix the flying motorbike. You have to have some kind of book smarts to do that.
I would say maybe Agent of Chaos Cho could pull away with because Arthur's just so straight laced. But
Arthur's
I don't
straight
know.
laced. He built a flying car behind the ministry's back and put in a law to make sure that
Yeah,
he
it was
would.
legal. It was legal. He made sure it was all okay.
All the loopholes were closed. It was all fine.
That smells trouble to me.
I just think Cho is the ultimate underdog here so far of the matchups that we've seen so far. She's definitely the ultimate underdog here.
Definitely has a hill to climb
Mm-hmm.
to try to win that one. Our next matchup here, Harry Potter versus Lita Lestrange. Not Bellatrix, Lita Lestrange.
Yeah, this one was interesting.
This one hurts my heart because I love Lita so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she does have some really good magical abilities. But again, they're not really on display all that much. We don't get that much of her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's only in one movie, so it's kind of hard to get the full scope of her ability.
Right. And she got cut off way too early as far as what her character could have been in this Fantastic Beasts series. But I don't think we've seen enough of her to appreciate what her magical ability is. So then going up against Harry Potter, although, man, every time I look at Harry, I don't really see him as this like major, duelist either.
Yeah, but he is. I mean, he he defeats Voldy.
Yeah.
So
Yes, but I feel like there was a little bit of luck on his side.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
the circumstances were definitely in his favor, but he has that like just instinct for combat. I think like, yeah.
For
There's
sure.
definitely some
Yeah.
categories that she could take, but I definitely picked Harry for this one.
Like,
Yeah.
would Harry lose every single logic matchup that he would ever be in this tournament? Probably, right?
I don't know. He's really good at putting pieces together. I think he misses out on the academics one, but he's good at puzzling pieces together.
Uh, I mean, sometimes
Uh,
yes and sometimes no.
I think we see both sides of it in the books. Like, 'cause there are some things where he's just like, you want to smack him upside his head because he's just like, come on,
Oh,
Harry.
yeah.
Like, hello. But at the same time, he puts like the weirdest stuff together. The one example in Deathly Hallows where like he put something together with a Horcrux, and I'm just like, how did you get that?
Yep.
Anywho, will be an interesting matchup. Number 7 here, Electo Caro versus Serafina Pickery.
Interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think very highly of Serafina because
We
she had
don't
that.
see either of these characters very much, though.
This is true, but we do know a little bit of the backstory on Serafina
Yeah.
being the like quadruple hat stall because every house tried to claim her for Ilvermorny.
Yeah, she got to pick what she wanted.
And we know what she ended up becoming for Makusa. So you know she had to be like a pretty powerful witch in
Yeah.
and of herself. Now Electo, she's no slouch either. She's like Bellatrix, but like on a half level of Bellatrix. Like Bellatrix is like ultra crazy, and she's like right below.
Uh,
You know, she likes to, torture the first years and all that good stuff in book 7 there. So I'm giving the edge to Serafina in this one.
I think so. I think Agent of Chaos would be Electo's hope here.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like the Caros are kind of, given a couple mentions in the last book, and that's really about it. I don't consider them like even major characters, even though they are clearly like very trusted for Voldemort. So I just feel like they're kind of throwaway. Um, but yeah, Agent of Chaos would definitely be a tough category for Serafina to win.
Mm-hmm. All right, matchup number 8 here. This one hurts me too. Dean Thomas versus Cedric Diggory. Dean is my
Yeah.
boy. Cedric is fellow Hufflepuff. Like, these two are kind of on even ground. Like, Cedric was obviously a year or so ahead of Dean, but we know what Dean ends up becoming, like, as he progresses on throughout his school career, and just
Yeah.
how amazing he was in the Battle of Hogwarts, going in without a wand, coming out with a wand, surviving, just smashing Death Eaters left and right. Cedric, we don't really get to see a lot of his magical ability, although what we can gather from him being the one chosen from the entire school of Hogwarts to be their champion in the Triwizard Tournament, we know he has to be really, really proficient in magic. He just never lived long enough to learn a lot of the other skills that would be with dueling. So we kind of gauge that as well. And then like they both played Quidditch, so that's going to be a tough matchup to kind of go head to head with. And then even the other ones are going to be pretty hard. So these two are very even in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're pretty even too. Um, I really honestly had a hard time with this one because I like both of the characters and it's hard to imagine them dueling. But I did
Mhm.
give the edge to Cedric because of that Triwizard Tournament champion that he was. But I kind of am sad that Dean didn't make it through on my bracket. So
Yeah, this one's pretty even. I think I also went with Cedric. Um, but honestly, I feel like I could be convinced that Dean could take a couple of those categories. So it's a good one. But yeah, also unfortunate that Dean had such a tough matchup in the first round.
yeah.
Next matchup here: Seamus Finnegan against Molly Weasley.
Speaking of rough matchups.
Yeah, that's a tough draw for Seamus. I think Agent of Chaos is his
Oh,
path
yeah.
to victory.
Yeah,
100%. And Quidditch.
yeah,
He
Quidditch
could
for sure.
Quidditch.
Okay, so he's got a little bit going for him.
He's got a couple going for him, but Molly definitely is the favorite here.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. Match number 10 here. We got Ron Weasley against Sybil Trelawney, which was a little bit of a feud in and of itself when Trelawney debuted in book 3. So the fact that now they're getting paired together here to go head to head is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I think we're giving Ron the edge here.
I do. I think there's a couple categories that Sybil could pull it out and beat him, but I think overall I would give the edge to Ron.
Yeah, he's one of the few that actually got a good matchup in the first round as far as the
Mhm.
students are concerned.
Yeah. I don't know if I think there are any categories that Trelawney would take from this, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think academics.
Logic? No, not logic. Never mind. I don't
Maybe
know.
academics. Maybe.
I
I think that might be the only one.
I think both of them are very illogical, so I really hope we don't get logic for them. It would be hard to
You know, there's going to be a few throughout the tournament where it's just like, oh no. All right, next
Yeah.
matchup here, number 11, Fleur Delacour versus Minerva McGonagall. Talk about terrible first round matchups.
Oh, horrible. Absolutely horrible. Fleur got a really raw deal here.
Yeah, we're doing to Flora what JK did to her first.
Yeah. She had no chance.
Yeah, the sherry consumption did Trelawney in the last one for sure.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know if Fleur has a shot, if I'm being honest here.
No, because even Quidditch, McGonagall played Quidditch. I can't see Fleur playing Quidditch. I know she was
Yeah.
a champion, but I can't see her doing Quidditch.
I mean, she did, do the Battle of the Seven Potters. She flew in that, so and she survived.
On a Thestral,
Holding on
Okay.
to Bill.
holding on to Bill
Okay.
on a
Okay.
Thestral.
I mean, I feel like Thestral Quidditch. There's probably some weird minor league that does that. That would be cool.
That would be amazing. I want
Ma-
to I want a Quidditch game with Thestrals.
Magical creatures, ability to love.
I
I
just
don't know.
I just
This
don't
one,
think so.
yeah,
And
no,
it's
sorry,
this
sorry,
is not to
Fleur.
say that Floor is bad. Just McGonagall is like
No,
very,
This is
very
exactly
well
what
rounded.
happened. This is exactly what happened in the
it's so
Triwizard
bad.
tournament. It's just like it's just a bad matchup. I'm sorry, Floor, but you're just gonna
Yeah.
lose again and again and again. Poor
I felt
Floor.
I felt really bad when I got to this one because I was like, this is a no-brainer. But man, Floor, I'm sorry.
At least she's losing to another woman this time.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's a little silver lining there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, match 12 here. Sirius Black versus Bellatrix Lestrange.
Too soon. It's too soon.
The cousins battling it out once again.
We
Beyond the
know
grave.
who wins.
Well, yes, we've seen this duel before, but will it go differently without Harry in the mix?
I honestly think that will be like a legitimate argument because, I feel like Sirius was not taking that duel seriously. Like he didn't know that his life was on the line, and if he did, he would have acted differently.
I think he knew his life was on the line, but I just feel like with Harry right there, he was trying to like show off for Harry a little bit,
Yeah,
and that got the best of him.
yeah.
Rowan says as long as there isn't a veil around, Sirius has a shot. Well, I would say not if he gets hit with the killing curse still, because
Yeah, that's true.
he just won't fall through the veil, but he'll still be dead. It'll be interesting if we end up with a duel, but I think maybe even more interesting if we don't get the duel
Yeah, if
Yeah.
and
we
we get
don't
one
get
of
the
these
duel,
other
I
things.
think that's probably Sirius's best bet is not getting a duel.
Yeah. Match number 13 here. Narcissa Malfoy versus Fenrir Greyback.
I love this one.
I have no idea who I picked to win this matchup, honestly.
It's
I
pretty even, I think, to me,
I just
on
feel like
most
we
of the
don't
things.
know enough about either of them, honestly.
Right.
Like
Which,
they're pretty background characters.
yeah. I do think there's a couple categories that would be obvious. Like ability to love is obviously going to Narcissa,
Yeah.
yeah, I would guess that as well.
and Agent of Chaos would obviously go to Greyback, I think.
Uh,
But all the other categories I think are pretty much a toss up. So
It's like Greyback is more ruthless. We haven't really seen Narcissa fight anybody.
yeah.
no.
We know the damage Fenrir can do, but
Yes.
we just really haven't seen Narcissa. But if she's anything like her sister, Bellatrix, then we know her ability is pretty dang good. Imagine the Quidditch match, though. We can say that about basically every matchup, and
I know,
it's just going
especially
to be
these
fun.
weird ones.
So if we can go behind the scenes just a little bit here for a second, we were throwing around a lot of different stipulations, categories for these matchups. And at one point, we were going to do the arts and see who would be better at just something artistic. That
Artistic creativity. That
um
would have been Dean's category, man.
would have been. Yeah, you're right.
That would have been
Definitely.
Dean's category.
Yeah.
Alas, I think we removed that one for Agent of Chaos because
Yeah,
I
we
wanted to
did.
make sure each specific house had a place to shine. And I feel
Mhm.
like we didn't have a place where Slytherin could really shine. Not that I really want the Slytherins to shine, but we're all about fairness here, so I want to be
Yeah.
fair. Match number 14 coming up. Yusuf Kama versus Nicholas Flamel. An odd matchup because I think each has specific strong suits. I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if Nicholas Flamel would win a duel with Yusuf.
Maybe, I don't know. He's been around for so long, like he just would know every single spell in the world, I feel like. But Kama is just such a like nothing character. Like I want to like him, but he just is like there and he looks like moody and he does weird mysterious things and then he just kind of leaves. He just there's not enough to Kama to I think.
He's an enigma wrapped in a conundrum. Yes. Yusuf Kama is one of the characters I have a love-hate relationship with out of the Fantastic Beasts series. I want to love Kama. Like I want to see him succeed, but I want to really know more about his character. Emily says Flamel kills him with a sneeze and breaks all his ribs at the same time.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yep.
Can there be a draw? Is that possible?
I think there's definite categories that Flamel will just take no problem.
I would agree with that. I think any of the academics one for sure. But we also know the path that Yusef has been on
Yeah.
since he was a
Yeah.
kid. Like,
Yeah.
he has done his studies. He has obviously been very well trained in dueling because he's had to take care of himself for such a long period of time. And has probably gotten himself into some sticky situations along the way while trying to find the missing Lestrange.
It'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Match number 15 here. Abernathy versus Lally Hicks.
I call no contest on this one. It's it's an obvious one to me.
Yeah, I think very much so. Lally Hicks is the leader of the clubhouse to take this one.
Yeah.
Poor Abernathy. He's such a lackey and a stooge. Oh man. Match number 16. This one kind of hurts a little bit. George Weasley versus Lord Voldemort.
I feel for George here.
Yeah.
But you can imagine the build to this matchup, right? Because Fred died because of Voldemort. And now George is trying to avenge his brother's death and takes on Voldemort head to head. Problem is, I don't see George beating him head to head in a duel.
No.
I don't think so at all.
There's no way.
I think
And-
Quidditch is George's hope.
Yeah, because I was going to say, the twins can do very well as far as like Agent of Chaos, but Voldemort's probably the only one that can out chaos them.
Yeah. I think ability to love.
Yes.
We could give to George. We could give Quidditch to George. Maybe creatures, magical creatures.
Yeah,
I feel like George would be better with, although
we
I
don't
guess
really.
he doesn't have any pets, and Voldy does have a pet snake. So
Voldy doesn't see any value in animals.
except for Nagini.
Much similar to me. Just kidding. But we do see Fred and George capture that little guy at his house and freeze him and spray paint him gold and stick him on
Oh,
top
the
of the tree.
Doxy. The Doxy.
No, it's not a
No,
Doxy.
it was a gnome. A gnome.
Garden gnome, right?
Oh, the garden gnome.
Yeah. So he doesn't really treat them all that great, but he knows about them. And to be fair too, the twins used a lot of animals in their joke stuff, like the different venoms and the whatnot.
They bred new animals. They bred the pygmy puffs.
Yeah.
So I would probably give the edge to him for creatures. Obviously, ability to love would be his easily. And then Quidditch.
Well, the thing is, landing on ability to love is the automatic loss for Voldemort.
100%. Yeah.
Because he has no ability to love. So
he cannot love.
He would lose to Abernathy if it was ability to love and they were matched up.
That is true, Rowan. Yeah.
Yes. Fred and George were throwing snowballs at the back of Quirrell's head. So maybe Voldemort wants payback now. That's also a little storyline thread happening here. Alrighty, next up here, matchup number 17, Victor Crumb versus Albus Dumbledore.
Tough draw for Victor.
Yeah.
Yep, but Quidditch is the path for him. Quidditch is definitely the path. I think everything else he's done.
Yeah, I would be willing to argue that Dumbledore could beat a lot of characters in Quidditch, but definitely not Crumb.
No.
Right.
I think that's Crumb's hope. If he can just land on Quidditch, then he's got this.
Oh man, the crowd will go wild if that happens.
Yo, if Quidditch gets landed on, I don't know what I would do. I need like a special sounder for like a major upset.
You do. Be thinking of that.
I need to work on that in the next 22 hours. All right, matchup number 18 here. Rufus Scrimger versus Bunty Broadacre. Scrimger versus Bunty. Obviously, Bunty's hoping for magical creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrimger's got the dueling, though.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think Bunty also ability to love. That would
Yes.
definitely be a good category for her.
Yup, I agree with that. So there's a path, but it's not a very big one.
I think Bunty might get the Agent of Chaos one too, because she was able to be the sneaky one. I don't see Scrimger as being very chaotic, so Bunty seems a little more chaotic.
Well, she's around all those nifflers all the time, so she's
Right.
got a lot of practice.
Yeah.
If she just releases those guys, you know, that could be it. I could be talked into it. Emily
be rooting
thinks
for
logic too.
I'll be rooting for Bunty. We'll
Maybe.
hope that she gets it.
Next matchup here. This is a good one. Peter Pettigrew versus Theseus Scamander. Obviously, it's leaning Theseus, but just those two together, like I feel like the matchup is good.
It's so weird.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Theseus has the dueling for sure. Actually, I don't really see a good one for
Agent of Chaos.
Maybe Agent of Chaos. That might be his only path to victory.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't the counter sight thing from the third Fantastic Beasts movie? Wasn't that Theseus's idea?
Well, he was part of it, I think.
I thought he was the one who like brought it up.
I think he was, but it was Dumbledore's idea.
I think it was Dumbledore's idea, but I think he called it out for what it was.
Executed it. Yeah.
So yeah, leaning Theseus on this one.
I am too.
Match number 20 here. Oh man. This one breaks my heart so much. Neville Longbottom versus Severus Snape.
It makes me so sad. I didn't want to do this one.
Cuz you got to respect Snape and his ability.
Yes.
But Neville's just so dang lovable and you want to root for him so bad. He's my favorite character in the series. And for that reason, I want him to go far. But at the same time, it's just like, dang, Snape. Oh, man. How do these two end up getting matched up?
I really don't know that there's a category that would give the edge to Neville. I do think that in certain, like, we didn't put herbology up there. That's Neville's bread and butter. So, I mean, that's part of academics, but Snape is
Best at everything
best at
else.
all the other things. So, I
This is going to be a tough one for Neville to win.
it's going to be really hard for Neville to win this one. I really think it's going to come down to ability to love and a big debate on what love actually means. If it lands on ability of to love, I think Neville has a chance. Yeah, Emily, Snape would fail at Quidditch, but so would Neville.
Yeah.
So
We know Neville can't stay on a broom either.
That's
least-
that's in the first book.
we don't see him get on a broom since.
At least Snape, we know, can referee.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, this is a rough draw for Neville.
Also ironic because Snape is Neville's biggest fear.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So we got that at play as well. Match number 21. McNair, Death Eater, versus Queenie Goldstein.
I love this one.
It's one of those just completely random matchups.
It's completely random, but I love everything about it.
So yeah, I'm leaning Queenie on this one.
100%.
Trying not to be super biased, but here I am being biased.
I don't even know that I would give McNair the edge on most of them.
I think magical creatures.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He
Maybe
kills them.
Exactly. He knows all their weaknesses.
No.
He-
That's no.
he knows the most about them because he has had the job of going in to take them out.
Queenie's learning. She's learning. No.
Listen,
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
a big
no,
path to victory, but I'm just saying.
No. I'm not okay with that. I hope it doesn't come down to that tomorrow.
Listen, I wouldn't want it to go that way, but at the same time, again, we got to do this not with our hearts. We got to do it with our heads.
All right, come on, Queenie.
All right, next matchup here. Nymphadora Tonks versus Antonin Dolohov. Now, I love this matchup because Dolohov was the one that killed Lupin. And I see this as Tonks wanting to get that revenge on Dolohov. Obviously, I'm giving Tonks the edge here, but Dolohov is no slouch.
I think this is a pretty even matchup, to be honest.
I
I
agree.
could see it going either way on dueling and even some of the other categories I could be talked into either way.
Dolohov is a dangerous guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not very much spoken about in the story, but he's always mentioned and he's always like tough. Kind of like a Greyback where like he's just ruthless.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
threat.
And then obviously we learned that he's the one that took out Lupin, so he's got to be pretty dang good at fighting.
At the same time, 3 teenagers did take him out in a coffee shop, so it's fine.
3-on-1. Those 3 also took out Snape in a shack.
At age 13.
Now, if all of y'all want to really get squirmish here, if you've chosen Queenie and Tonks to win those matchups, those 2 would go head to head in the next round. Just saying.
That is actually what my bracket looks like.
Try figuring that one out.
It's not easy.
Not fun at all. All right, matchup number 23 here. This one also hurts me right to my core because it's Ernie Mac versus Luna Lovegood. Luna, my second favorite character in this story. And then Ernie Mac, of course, he's Ernie Mac. Like, fellow Hufflepuff, overall, just great guy. Member of the DA. Oh, boss, stop it. Ernie Mac is great, and you know it.
I agree with you, Marissa.
Unless she's on delay and she's talking about the Queenie Tonks matchup.
Nah, she's talking about Ernie Mac.
Don't you dare talk down to Ernie Mac, boss. So yeah, this one's tough. This one's kind of even for me. I mean, I love Luna more. Okay, good. Okay.
Okay.
Clarification.
Okay.
The Ernie and Luna matchup is the worst. I know I thought you loved Ernie Mac too. I mean, what are we talking about here?
He's just annoying. I get annoyed by him.
Yeah, he's like a take it or leave it character for me. Like he doesn't do anything for me, but I wouldn't miss him if he was gone.
I would miss Luna though.
Yeah.
So I give an edge to Luna because of the ministry, and she's in Ravenclaw, so I think that gives her the edge on some of the academics and logics and that kind of a thing.
I could see maybe the academics and the logic. The dueling one though is just so dang tough to judge.
Yeah.
I really
that
don't
one's
want a
gonna be tough.
dueling. I don't want a dueling one for this one. Really don't. Ugh. All right. Well, going from hard to just as hard. Matchup number 24 here: Rubius Hagrid versus Tina Goldstein.
This one sucks. This one hurts me. I like Tina and I like Hagrid.
Yeah, I mean, two again, just great, lovable characters. And yeah, this one's just a real tough one to decide. Like, you got to wonder if it's coming down to a duel, does Hagrid even know enough to duel? I'm thinking probably not. So I want to give the edge to Tina. But some of the other ones, like magical creatures, I think you got to give it to Hagrid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like ability to love, that would be tough. Maybe Tina wins the academics and the logic one.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think a duel is that clean cut because you're right. Tina knows more magic stuff, but Hagrid's natural magical resistance, I think,
Yeah.
would be too tough for her to overcome. Personally, maybe you can sway me the other way, but
There's
my
so many
initial instinct.
different things that you can do in magic other than like hit a spell. You could burn them alive. That's what Bellatrix tried to do. Lit his hut on fire, like locked him or tried to. Thought he was in there.
Yeah, I just think Hagrid's so tough. Like it would be hard to
Sure.
take him down.
Yeah, a duel doesn't necessarily mean with wands. He could just come over and jump on top of her, and then she's done for.
Oh yeah, but she knows how to apparate and disapparate and apparate and disapparate. You know, she can. I don't know. This will be a discussion for tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see it going either way in a duel. I do think some of the other categories are half and half almost.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only one besides the Crumb and Dumbledore one where Hagrid has zero chance of winning a Quidditch match.
Yeah, he can't ride a broomstick.
Uh-huh.
So
Would his umbrella suffice as like something that he
No.
can use instead
I think the only other option would be if he was allowed to use his motorbike instead of a broom.
during a Quidditch matchup? I don't know about that. That feels
'Cause
like a
we
disqualification.
I mean, I would think so too, but we know that other things can't handle his weight.
Hmm.
I
That would
think
have
we
to be
might have to
a very large broomstick.
Yeah.
we might have to respin the wheel if we get Quidditch for that one.
I think Tina would be fine in a Quidditch match.
There is no respinning. All right, next matchup here. Match 25. Barty Crouch Jr. versus Vinda Rosier. That's Grindelwald's right-hand woman.
Yeah, we got two right hands of the two most evils here.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Rosier go to battle yet.
No.
Uh-uh.
And that's what's hurting her chances, in my opinion. Right now, I'm leaning Barty Jr. But
I
again,
don't want
obviously,
Barty Jr. to win,
depends
so
on what type of matchup.
yeah.
But I'm leaning Barty Jr. I wish we knew more about Vinda to be able to get a better picture of what she can do, magically speaking.
Uh-huh.
Besides, give Grindelwald advice and hold his skull hookah.
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see after Fantastic Beasts 4 comes out. Oh,
Oh,
wait.
come on, Alex. Come on.
It's too soon.
Well, I feel like I can't say too soon because it's not like we got bad news that Fantastic
Mhm.
Beasts 4 isn't happening. It's just we've had no news. So
Feels too soon.
no news feels like bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not why we're here though. Let's go to the next match. Match 26. Gilderoy Lockhart versus Gellert Grindelwald. Is this not a fantastic matchup?
I mean, it's an easy first round for Grindelwald. Like,
Yeah.
super easy first round.
Well, if you're landing on dueling.
I mean, Lockhart has one move, and Grindelwald would see that coming.
Yeah. But I'm saying Lockhart's ability to love
No.
and be
Loving
loved.
yourself is not love. No, that doesn't.
I
No.
think it's very
Uh,
important to love yourself.
I agree with Joe. I think Grindelwald or Lockhart would probably win that category.
Good one, Ron. That's not fair. That's like a 4-year-old against the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yep.
Yup. By
Listen,
the way,
y'all would have to really convince me that even in the ability to love category, because I do think Grindelwald is not Voldemort. I do think he has the ability to love. So you'd have to really. I think he edges out Lockhart on every category.
Okay.
we'll see you in the ring. Just want to throw this out here too. All these matchups were done completely randomized. I
hmm
I randomized each section of 16 characters and then I randomly picked 4 from each and then randomized those again to get the matchups and then randomized the matchups to not play. Like there was a lot of randomizing that had happened over the course of creating this tournament. So if you're wondering how these were set up, it wasn't by me choosing matchups. It wasn't by me picking out of a hat. This was just totally done with a randomizer. Grindelwald wanted to control Albus.
No, Grindelwald loved Albus. It was just not the kind of love that Albus had for Grindelwald. It was just different.
Like Snape's love for Lily.
No, no, no.
That seems like a show topic. Well, talking about bad breaks here, matchup number 27, Fred Weasley versus Kingsley Shacklebolt. Oh,
Yeah.
Freddy boy.
That was a tough one for Fred.
Yeah.
Both twins got bad first matchups.
Real bad. I will say, again, if it's Quidditch, Fred's got it.
Probably, yeah. There's a
Yeah.
path.
I would
Just not a very
say
big path.
even Agent of Chaos, I would probably lean Fred over Shacklebolt for that
Uh-huh.
one. But those are probably the only two. Maybe Ability to Love. We don't really see. I mean,
We don't really see either.
we don't see. Well, we know Fred loves his family.
Does he love Percy?
He forgives him at the end. He's the first one to walk up to him.
There you go.
He took what's her face to the ball.
He did. Angelina.
That's right. But again, yeah, another tough draw. Matchup number
Tough draw.
28, again, another tough draw. Ginny Weasley versus Phileas Flitwick.
This one makes me mad because Ginny is my favorite character, and this is a rough draw for Ginny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I don't know. She has some good ones. Quidditch, definitely. Agent of Chaos, I think probably.
Maybe Beast, Magical Beast.
Yeah, could be.
I feel like Flitwick might be able to cause more chaos than Ginny.
Really?
He's a charms master. Like, there's nothing he can't do in my eyes.
Yeah, but it's not just about magic chaos. Like, Ginny is the one who comes up with the lie about the
Yeah.
Garrett and gas so that they can get to Umbridge's office. Like, that's kind of like where my mind goes for chaos.
She has a little bit of Fred and George in her.
Uh,
A little bit of chaotic nature. I don't know.
And
It still
the
seems...
fact that Phileas is a dueling champion, so Ginny can throw Reducto as much as she wants.
I do think she's out of luck if it lands on dueling for her. Like, I do think that's out of luck. But
I would agree.
Yeah.
All right, next matchup here. Matchup number 29. Amicus Caro versus Newt Scamander. Newt
I know who
finally
I'm
in the
picking.
mix. Well, we got to see which stipulation comes through, but yes, I would say Newt is a strong candidate to move forward here.
yeah, I think this is a pretty easy dub for Newt.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think there's many, because even Agent of Chaos, you can't tell me Newt Scamander is not chaotic.
Yeah, no way.
oh no, he could cause some chaos. No, I agree with you.
He is chaos. But I think he would edge out Amicus in pretty much every category.
Match number 30, coming down to the final three here. Draco Malfoy versus Remus Lupin.
This is a weird one.
A tough draw for the student again, Draco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say the edge is with Remus.
I think so. I think the only, I mean, obviously, again, Quidditch would be Draco's edge there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But
Is the fact that Lupin is a werewolf, does that automatically make him an agent of chaos?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Uh-huh. Yes.
The fact that Lupin is a magical creature, does that make him win magical creatures?
I think the fact that Lupin was able to teach them how to defeat dark magical
Yeah,
creatures
that
makes
was
him win magical creatures.
the
Like,
entire third year.
um,
And Draco gets mangled by a hippogriff.
yep.
Mangled.
Yep.
I feel like you use that term loosely, my friend. All right, match 31 here. This one's going to be tough. Hermione Granger versus Aurelius Dumbledore, aka Credence Barebone. Super tough
Yeah.
because Credence isn't refined in his magic, but he's so powerful.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if in a duel Hermione could take him.
I think
It-
she's so quick on her feet though in thinking that like I mean she's gotten Harry and Ron out of some real bad situations.
Yeah,
Like
out
yeah.
of there, not like in the midst of fighting. Like she
well,
had to.
I mean when they were escaping the ministry, but I mean I don't know. I could see her at least controlling the battlefield long enough for Credence to like wear himself out.
I don't. I think Hermione needs a little bit of help here.
I don't know. I originally picked Hermione um because I forgot about the
Obscurus.
yeah, I forgot about that part. Um I think it would not be like a complete domination by Credence, but I don't think that Hermione could win that in a straight duel. But I feel like every other category she is pretty much got wrapped up.
Right. So this is gonna be really the spin of the wheel. What's it gonna land on?
I really hope it doesn't land on Quidditch for this one, though, because neither one of these characters would
Neither
win a
one are
Quidditch match.
good, but
No.
Yeah,
I don't.
but do we
Credence doesn't know how to ride a broom,
True.
so
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Hermione at
Like,
least knows how to ride a broom.
yeah, does he even know the rules of Quidditch?
No.
Yeah, so
the
at
only
least Hermione's
thing
watched a game.
I think Credence would probably also have Agent of Chaos too, because that's all he is. So I think Credence has got the edge here.
I don't know. Hermione, she can be devious when she wants to be.
She can.
I don't know. Devious and chaotic are two different things.
Okay, fine.
All right, final matchup here of round 1. Lucius Malfoy goes head to head with Percy Weasley.
Tough draw for Percy. To
Yeah.
me.
Oh, I don't know. He took out Pius Thickness, the Minister for Magic,
Yeah, I mean he's
in like
good.
an incredible fashion.
He's good. I mean, I just think in a straight duel with Lucius, I don't know.
Lucius never impressed me with his dueling. Like, I don't really think or esteem him very highly as far as his dueling is concerned.
Just because we don't see it doesn't mean he's not capable of it.
Yeah. I think he wouldn't have been as high up in the ranks of the Death Eaters if he wasn't skilled at dueling. Like, I don't think you get there without being somewhat skilled in that regards.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the times we've seen him, he's always been like overtaken.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his main thing that he brought to the Death Eaters was his bank account, but
I
I
mean, I do think that was the main thing.
yeah, I don't know. I think he just didn't get enough chance to uh get his stuff going. Like I feel like plot armor defeated him more than anything.
Could be, and I'm not defending Percy because Chris Rankin's my guy, and I know he's watching this right now. Shout out, Chris. Hope you're well. That's not why I'm defending Percy, but I could be convinced otherwise. It's all going to come down to the matchup, and that is really the case with every single one of these first round matchups.
With most of them, there's a couple
Yeah.
that have a clear I'm sorry, Fleur, but McGonagall, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
There's
don't see
there
a matchup that she can win. I don't see it.
there are a couple that like just win across the board, but I think for the most part there are at least one or two categories that would be like I would consider a big upset. So,
Yeah.
it'll definitely be fun.
It falls on Quidditch for George and Voldy. It's gonna be it's a big first round upset right there.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm hoping. I really want some upsets going because that is going to make this even more fun to be able to go through. And it's all relying on this silly little roulette wheel that we have picked up for this particular event here. So yeah, so that is our preview of the tournament. We hope you are all excited. We hope you all listen to everything that we're going to be putting out within these next 2 weeks. If you would like to join our giveaway, I do want to share this. We are giving away a Hogwarts Legacy for any console of your choosing. And to enter the giveaway, you either have to be supporting us on Patreon or you just got to fill out your bracket. And to do that, I've given the website a whole bunch of times, but I'll give it again right here. It's challonge.com/TFGHMMM 2023. That's challonge, CHALLONGE.com/TFGHMMM 2023. If you go there, you could fill out your predictions, put your name as the prediction title. That's at the very end. And you're just going to kind of click your way through the entire tournament, get all the way to the end. And then there's a little drop down box to pick your winner on the bottom of that. And then send your predictions in. And then you're automatically entered in to win. And you can have your very own version, edition of Hogwarts Legacy coming to you as soon as whichever console you're choosing releases it. So, yeah, so that is it for the tournament. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Lauren and Alex, for jumping on. Would you like to, real quick, let the people know where they can find you?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Maeve_cleric. And I have finished playing through the main quest of Hogwarts Legacy, but that doesn't mean I'm done playing. So
Wait,
you can
you were just in winter. What happened?
I finished. Yay.
You just
I haven't
powered through?
I played pretty much all day on Saturday, so yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Um but I still have a lot of side quests to do. I still have a lot of other things going on. So I will continue playing. So my Twitch channel is twitch.tv /Maeve_cleric.
All right, Alex, how about you? Where can the people find you?
You can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AtariAlex.
Very cool. As for me, you can find me personally on Instagram or the Twitter at Custom Vinyl Lush. If you'd like to follow the show, you can do so in a myriad of different ways. Go to talesfromgodricshollow.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Tales from Godric's Hollow. You can follow us on Twitter at Tales from GH. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Tales from Godric's Hollow. You can follow us on Podchaser at podchaser.com/TFGH. You can now follow us on TikTok at TFGH Show, or with any and all of your emails, you can get a hold of us at talesfromgodricshollow@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone, once again for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this, and we hope you continue along with us on this journey to crown a Wizarding World champion. So long, everybody.